Alright guys, we are back. Final match from Group E, round of 32 of the BCTV Season 1 Star League. This is TheEnder, and I am casting the match between the yellow Zerg, Hero, in the upper left position, and the red Protoss in the bottom right position, Pure. So, we have seen so far, well, these two players already played against each other, and Pure lost. That being said, Hero went on to the winner's match, and he lost that. And, I mean, I would say it's a reasonably even matchup, like, player skill-wise. However, I think Hero might be a bit of a ZVP specialist, so it's sort of like, you know, his matchup. So yeah. So, you know, minor advantage to Hero, especially because he won the earlier match. But let's not call Pure out of it. We've seen, you know, some decent play, and he did take a map off of Hero. In fact, I think it was this map. That was the one he won. Right? Yeah. So, alright. Sapir did a little, you know, clever move. He sent his he sent his probe up to the 3 o'clock position to look for overlords, and he didn't see one. And then he goes cross map and looks for an overlord there. And so, based on those positions, he's correctly deduced that that Hero is not in the 1 o'clock or in the 7 o'clock position. That's some serious mind games. He knows which way is the Zerg scout. Alright, so it looks like based on the way he sent his probe that he assumed that Zergs always scout in a clockwise position. So in a clockwise position, if Hero had spawned at the 1 o'clock, he would have sent his overlord and it would have passed the 3 o'clock. And if he had spawned at the 7 o'clock, his overlord would have passed the 9 o'clock. But he didn't see either of those, so he correctly assumed that he's at the 10 o'clock. That's actually pretty clever. Does anyone want to, you know, comment on whether or not Zergs are always supposed to scout in a clockwise position on Fighting Spirit? That's interesting. Alright, so we have 6 Zerglings out for Hero, and the probe has a very nice scout on them. The cannon should be in time, but that being said, we do want to see... Oh! Drone kill! Probe got a drone kill, and he did take some damage from that drone, so... Oh! Zerglings are getting in, and... they kill one probe, and they will retreat. Alright, so it's a pretty good hold by Pure. He's still going to block the lower gap so that the Lings can't just like run by and get into his main. And we are seeing a 2 more hatch follow-up prior to gas for Hero. Probe manages to slip out. Kind of wants to see if it's going to be a Hydralisk follow-up, because that's what all the cool Zergs do. But, so let's see. So no gas yet, so no Hydras actually yet. So what is Pure going to do? Is he a pylon short? He's got to have another pylon somewhere. Where's Pure's second pylon? I mean, it probably should be in the main, I just don't see it. Of course you can't see buildings on the minimap that well, so... yeah, we'll just be patient, we'll wait. Alright, so we have the core. Core is finished. Looks like Stargate's going down next to the Nexus in the main, so there has to be a pylon there. Yep, alright, there we go. Crouching probe, hidden pylon. And we have +1 attack for Pure. Pretty standard so far.
중반부가 넘어가면서 커세어를 굉장히 잘 쓰기 때문에 공업 돌려주면 그렇죠. 빠르게 공업 다시 찍어주네요.
And we have +1 air attack for those Corsairs at the core. That's a pretty fast dedication to it. And that's interesting. We have a macro hatch in the main. Usually you don't see that. Usually you see the macro hatches for the Zergs used as walls at the natural and third base. But he got one in the main. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a hidden hatchery, you know, to make it look like he's actually like spending his money on tech. But yeah. Alright, so that Zealot, he's actually, he got 2 hits on one of the probes, so there's a whole lot of lings there. And he's trying to hide his Zealot in that same little niche, but he missed this time. So not sure what's going on with that. Alright, Citadel of Dune is going down. And so yeah, once again, Hydra Den is down and the layer is not completed, so we've got some kind of shenanigans. First Hydralisk is out, Corsair sees it immediately. Corsair doesn't appear to care that the Hydralisk is hitting it. Took some hull damage, you probably don't want to do that. Second Zealot from Pure is going into the third base. Templar guys down for Pure. Looks like drones are transferring away from the third base where that Zealot went in. No kills though, so he hasn't really done anything, he's just denied a little bit of mining. That Corsair really needs to go home, he's getting low on health. Alright, Zerglings come back and Zealot dies. And Zealot dies. Come on. Don't make me a liar. Well, the Zealot is getting a very good scout on the positioning of the Zerglings. Pure wants that Overlord so badly. I don't know why. He's just fixated on it, though. Alright, so second cannon come down just to be safe since there's a lot of Hydras on the map. It's definitely a good idea. I could definitely see an argument for even getting more cannons than that. Alright, that one Overlord finally goes down. But, up, and he finds another. But those Corsairs are just taking so much damage. I think Pure is really forcing this with the Corsairs. I think he's getting a little bit overly aggressive with them. I mean, I know he got the +1 and he wants the investment to work, but you don't want to, you know, to show your hand too soon and, you know, definitely say, I'm going to hunt you down with these Corsairs. Now that is interesting. I did not see that ever before. It looks like the one Corsair who lost all his shield, he doesn't have the tail lights. Is that like the thing? I've never seen that before. I guess it has to be. You saw that, right? One of the Corsairs doesn't have his tail lights showing, and I think that's the one that took all that damage, and probably doesn't have any shield. That would be really cool if that's like what we're seeing. Like actual unit, like appearance different because of damage taken. Because that's literally not in any version of StarCraft that I've seen, except I mean for buildings, but not for units. That'd be really cool. Alright, so we have 5 total cannons. And, yeah, I mean, you kind of need it. The Hydra's hammering away on some of his buildings. It looks like they're going to cancel the +1. Is that still +1? Man, +1 takes forever. No, okay, that's +2. Yeah, +1 doesn't take anywhere near that long. DT with some damage on it, no kills. 2 more macro hatcheries at the 12 o'clock base. That's interesting. The Hydralisk did have to retreat. There were Templar out, and by now there's probably storms. 7 total Corsairs. 2 of them pretty badly damaged. And they do have that +1.
유괴 처리까지도 이뤄진 상황.
So, slightly interesting, there's no wall yet at the natural for Hero.
워낙 밸런스가
He's
적으로
relying
상대로
pretty much heavily on
적으로 프로토스를
on his Hydralist for the map control and the protection. Which, of course, it's good because, you know,
펼쳐져 있는 조일장 선수.
static defense, it doesn't scale anywhere near as well into the late game as units. And by that I mean, you know, they don't improve with upgrades.
타 저거에 비해
And, you know, you can't take them with you. That's the other main thing.
빨리 해서 다크에 대한 피해를
Photon cannons, can't take them with you.
그러면서 견제를 갈 때 오버로드를 빠릿빠릿하게 좀 데리고 나가주는 모습이고요. 그러면서 중간중간에 시야도 밝히고 그 오버로드로 프로토스의 테크도 확인하는.
So, I'm
어쨌든 전략 시뮬레이션
once again starting to get worried for Pierre's position in the game. He's still on 2 bases. Looks like he wants to take a third. But he spent a lot on those Corsairs. I think he's got 8 Corsairs now, and he's only sniped a total of 2 Overlords. That DT is doing some work on the Hydralist, but he's going to go down pretty soon. Do we have storms? High Templar lagging behind, and they're there, and they get picked off after they storm their own DT. Very good job, High Templar. I mean, you read the lore about how, you know, the High Templars and the Dark Templars don't get along, and that's why they're on different planets. But seriously, the High Templars storming the Dark Templars when they're fighting the Zerg, like in the middle of a battle versus Zerg, that's just bad timing. I mean, you really shouldn't be doing that. That's a dick move. Whoop, Corsair goes down, back down to 7. It looks like Zealots are actually chasing the Hydralists away. They might be pushing towards the 3rd base. And it looks like they just got speed. Alright, so Corsair's picking off another Overlord. But really, those Zealots need to go back home. They're biting off more than they can chew, and he really needs to take that 3rd base. I mean, put some Zealots on the high ground, and, you know, maybe a High Templar or 2 behind them, and they can hold that ramp pretty darn well. Alright, goons are out. And those goons are going to help taking of the 3rd base. Up! And so, of course, the Templar gets sniped as soon as they try to assist the goons. 2 Templar down, in exchange for about 6 Hydralists. But I still think that the Zerg got the more favorable engagement. Here's trying to take his 4th. It's going to get killed as soon as it finishes. Like, literally, the second it finishes, Zealots surround it, and they're going to take it out really quickly. Will the Zealots escape? Well, they're going the wrong direction. Yeah. Alright, so now they're going to go in the right direction, and they might get out. Meantime, Corsairs are dying. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting Corsairs, especially to keep the mutas away. But I really still think Pierre is really just trying to force the Corsairs way too much. I mean, you're going against a player like Hero, who loves his mass Hydra. Surprisingly, the Hydras don't have any upgrades yet. I would expect at least +1 missile attacks. But yeah, you need to keep the Corsairs for literally for either keep them with the army or for counterattacks, not for, you know, harassment when you've got nothing to support them. There's Hydras at every base. Uh-oh. And now that he's at the bottom of the ramp, Pierre's going to lose his Dragoon army. Actually, that's a nice storm. Oh, man, that 2nd and 3rd storm right there, that was beautiful. The Hydras were streaming in, and they literally ran into the storm. Oh, no. And alright, so we saw as many as 8 Corsairs. Pierre forces the issue with them because they're not getting anything done. He loses all of them. He's down to like 3 Corsairs, and then the mutas pop. Oh, come on. Serves you right, Pierre. You should have known better. And his army is so small, he's not controlling it well. It'd be child's play for the mutas to come in here and just snipe all the High Templar. Child's play. But he does have observers, so he can push if he wants. I mean, you can't really... I say he can push. He's got 2 Templar. I mean, you can't push with 2 Templar. Looks like it's Reinforcement Templar. If he has any, might get sniped. Oh man, Hero's just got so many guys. Alright, so he's at 114 supply. Pretty, you know, respectable. And let's select it for Pure. Pure's got 136. Alright, so Pure, supply-wise, he is pretty much where he wants to be. He's 20 supply ahead of the Zerg. So that's a good place. But he's short on Templar, and there's Mutas attacking his main. And he's not doing anything. He's like counterattacking. Whoop! Where? Hidden Templar. Didn't get too much damage done, but he had one. Had to storm, and some Mutas are like, oh no, there's no army coming back. They must be trying to, hit me. 2 additional cannons warped in the main. Hopefully to hold off the army. Oh, that's so many Hydras. And lots of Sunkens coming in to guard the ramp. And up, yep, Templar goes down. So we have a lot of goons. I don't see any Templar with that army. I mean, if there's no Templar with that army, he... Okay, we only have a shuttle. Oh, the shuttle had Templar. Oh, and there's the storms. Oh, slaughter. But no, we've got a good... So that sort of reminds me, like, if you watch UFC fighting, they call it a sprawl, where the one player goes for the takedown on the other one, and the other one, like, he spreads his legs out behind him so he can't be taken down. That was like the Brood War equivalent. He like sprawled his Hydulisk. He retreated them backwards in all directions, so that he literally forced his opponent to come into like not just a choke, but into like a really nice concave. In the meantime, there might be a storm drop from Pure. So that is a lot of goons, but there's no Templar to support them. That's not going to trade cost effectively. Alright, storm drop at the natural. Oh, all the probes go down. You can see on the minimap there's like nothing there anymore. Is he going to brute force it with the Hydra? Wow. No, he brute forced it with the Hydralisk with his goons, and he storm dropped the natural. Hero taps out. GG. Woo. Pure take.